Hi, I'm Chris Kwan. I'm a storyteller and host of When Did You Know? I started this project as a 30-something-year-old single guy who had no clue on how to find true love in this crazy world. Join me on this journey as I interview couples that I've met along the way who were kind enough to sit down with me and share their stories of experience, strength, and hope. They come from all different walks of life, but have one thing in common. They're very much in love, and they live it day in and day out. Their stories show that whatever you've been through and wherever you are in life, that true love is out there and it's possible for all of us. So without further ado, let's do it.
When did you know? When did you know?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of When Did You Know? Today I have two very special guests that are dear and near to my heart, Taylor and Denise. Thank you so much for being on the show.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Taylor and I go way back.
Yep.
Brothers from a different mother for sure, along with Brian and Ian. Shout out Brian and Ian. I think I met Taylor like when I first moved to the States. He was my upstairs neighbor at the Memorial Fountains apartment. Shout out Memorial Fountains. This shout out thing became like a thing with Ian and Logan, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't know. I like it.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I like it. It's good energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Taylor was my upstairs neighbor. We became fast friends. Tons of sleepovers, video games, sports, all that kind of stuff.
Fun.
Yeah, and it's just a beautiful thing to like be old now and have friendships
That last that long.
like 30 years, like literally.
It has been.
And we
That's
still
crazy.
look so young and so good. Yeah. But anyway, so I've gotten to see Taylor grow up and turn into this fine, young, beautiful man that you see here today. And then I was privileged to be at Denise and Taylor's wedding. See now they have this beautiful daughter, Madison, who sometimes is a lot like Taylor apparently. And I'm just so blessed and grateful that they're still a part of my life. And
We are too.
yeah, so I'll start with Denise. Denise, would you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. Hello, I am Denise Rumsey. I am 37 years old. Parents are from Puerto Rico. I was born in Bayonne, New Jersey, lived in New York, and then moved to Houston, Texas when I was about 8 years old.
So I think I knew you were Puerto Rican, but I didn't know that you were from New York. Does the accent ever come out?
When she talks to her sister from New York.
Okay, so not like when you get some drinks in her.
No, it's the hot dogs.
New York,
and
hot
the
dogs.
New Yorks and
Yeah. I don't think I
it's
realize
funny.
it.
She doesn't notice it, but I do. It's funny. Her sister is very New York.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you grew up for the majority of your childhood and stuff in Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah.
okay, cool. What about you, Tay?
I'm Taylor Rumsey. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I'm just a good old white boy. I mean, I guess with the red hair. I used to think it was Irish, but Ancestry tells me I'm 20% Scottish. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You're not Irish?
No, I guess
I don't
not.
even feel like I know you
Yeah.
anymore.
It's like English, Eastern European, and Scottish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And have you always had this like silky smooth voice for radio?
I didn't know I did, but apparently so.
It sounds really good.
Oh, good. I like it. Nice.
I was listening to it like kind of before we had gotten started on the headset, and I'm like, man, if this thing doesn't work out for you, you should, you could work with Jong.
Hey.
That would be really cool. Or you could,
I always
like,
had
in
an
the
interest
pocket.
in voice acting. That sounds fun.
It's not too late,
Hey.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much for being on the show and introducing yourselves. Let's just get right into it, right? Like, let's talk about like how you guys met, what that interaction was like, what the first impressions were. Who wants to get us going here? I kind of know a little bit about this part because you guys met in the workplace.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had worked for a company for several years, and they acquired the company that she worked for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just the lowly IT guy. I did the badging for the security for the office. So I had to take everyone's picture and create their badge. And I used to joke when they first got here. I was like, "Oh yeah, I found me one of the hotties."
Yeah. You're like, whoa.
I said, "Oh, future ex-wife material." Not having any idea that we would even be dating, let alone married.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny how it played out.
But that's a very like a very interesting position because you do get to see the pictures, like
Yeah.
and then kind of make the badges and stuff. So you're like, oh, I know her name.
I was like, yeah, I get a little inside information.
Okay, okay. So when what about you, Denise? Because like obviously he was aware of you before you were aware of him. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he had gone to our office too, and we weren't there, so you had seen my pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he also thought I had like 5 kids.
A kid.
Oh,
I just thought you had one kid.
oh, I thought he
Why?
thought I had 5. Because I have pictures of all my nephews and nieces all over my cubicle.
Oh wait, so you were creeping? Like you didn't just like.
Well,
see her-
I was just walking through and I saw her picture and I was like, oh, she's got a kid. 'Cause she had a picture with a kid.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
she had a picture with her boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
I was
Yeah,
like,
we don't care about
oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't care about it. No,
Yeah.
but so even with the picture, you're thinking that she might have 1 to 5 kids. You know, we don't know. Like you were still like,
Well, I found out that she didn't before
Okay.
I started talking. Yeah.
okay. So when were you first aware of Taylor?
Well, I thought he was cute and everything, but I was in a relationship, so never thought of him in any kind of way until.
Wait, so like you noticed him when? Like when did you first meet him?
Oh well, when did we?
It was just through
You-
the badging and
you
stuff
gave
at
her-
first. It
you
was
gave
just
her
when
a
I did her
badge in your
security,
hands-
yeah. And then
hands
she
stuff.
lost her
Yeah.
security card, I think.
Yes, I lost
And
my
then I was
security
IT,
badge.
so I had to help her a couple times with her computer.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That's
I
the
did lose
old.
it.
That's the old. Leave something in the guy's apartment so you have an excuse
Yeah.
to get
Exactly.
later thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Subconsciously. Subconsciously. Wait, so you were dating someone at the time?
Yeah, I was dating
Okay.
someone at the time.
Was it pretty serious? Like.
No, I mean, I think it was serious for me, but not for the other person.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we ended things, of course, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then I think it was maybe 3 or 4 months later
Yeah,
when
I think it was like 3 months.
when he asked me from. He didn't even know I was interested though.
Yeah,
at
one of my
first.
coworkers told me.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
And
so
I was
okay.
like, oh.
All right,
She's
so
like, oh.
just to kind of make it clear for the audience, you were dating someone originally when you were aware of Denise, you were like, oh, I'm attracted to her, but she has a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Taylor's
So I didn't
a
even think
good
anything about it.
stand-up guy.
Yeah.
And then, so you and your other boyfriend, you broke up.
Yeah.
And then you guys are just kind of coworkers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
just
very
coworkers.
shy.
Yeah.
Kind of kept to herself.
Are you? You're shy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so then.
Yeah, so then it was like 4 months, had been about 4 months, and then I guess someone had told him like, hey,
Yeah, it was one of
she,
our coworkers. We were at a concert, and she was like, "Oh, hey, that girl. She thinks you're cute." I was like, "Oh,
Was that like from seeing him in the office, or you saw him at the concert and you were like, huh?
well,
No.
I went to the concert with my dad, and I knew she was going to be there too. It was just one of my coworkers. She's just a cool chick that we knew.
You went with Guy? Mm-hmm. Shout out Guy.
Yeah.
I love you, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we used to go to concerts together a lot, and
Yeah.
yeah, I just met her on the hill at the Woodlands. and
Okay.
We were just chit chatting, and she brought it up. I was like, "Oh, that's
Okay.
good to know."
And you didn't know that she was gonna bring it up? or
No,
tell him or
no.
anything? Oh.
I think she had heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Huge assist to the
Yeah,
friend.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shout
And
out
then,
I'm gonna keep doing it.
like, I was coordinating a lot of like the move from their old office to the new office, and like getting rid of a lot of the old office furniture and stuff.
Sure,
and
sure.
One of the girls in her little trifecta inner circle, I guess, I don't know, she was flirting with me, but she was in a relationship, and she was not my type at all. But I used that as an in. I was like, hey, so I heard she thinks I'm cute. You think I could slide into your lunch group?
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Okay.
I just put my foot in the door, and she helped me out. So
All right. So that's what. So she gave you that info, and then you
Yeah.
acted on it.
I think her friend was hoping that I would slide into the group and end up with her, but that was not the goal at all.
Okay. All right. But I mean, it worked out. So
Yeah, it worked out the way I wanted it to.
So you guys start having lunch in a group setting.
Yep.
Okay, so like how does asking her out to the
I
first
don't
date
remember how
happen?
long we had known each other. Like had been hanging out at lunch. It
I
wasn't
think it was
that
like
long.
a month.
Yeah, it
Not
was a
even
couple
probably.
lunches here
And then we
there.
had a work happy hour. And I don't know how, but somehow they got us to sit right next to each other.
Calculated, probably.
It wasn't my plan.
Or it was a
It
God
worked
thing.
out
I
like
don't know,
me.
either
Yeah,
way.
you
Yeah,
never know.
so
You never know. I
somehow
don't know if
we-
they planned it or not, but
Yeah, we
that's
ended
how
up
it worked
sitting
out.
like right
Okay.
next to each other, and we kind of talked throughout the happy hour. And then it was time to leave, and we were saying bye, and he was just like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you think I can?"
Nervous and awkward.
Yeah, he's like, "You think I could get your number?" And
Wanna
I was
hang
just
out
like,
sometime,
"Okay, yeah, you want to
you know?
hang out sometime? You think I could get
What
your
was
number?"
the conversation before that? Like while you were hanging out at dinner, was that like naturally flowing? Were you nervous? Was it?
I mean,
Yeah.
I was a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nervous, but it went well.
And then you worked up the nerve.
I was
at
like,
the
okay,
end.
this is going well. Maybe we could give it a shot.
Yeah, he gave me my biggest compliment. Well, people would always tell me.
Okay.
But then what's it called? He said it, and I was just like, oh. People always used to say that I looked like Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so he was like,
Has
he had
anyone
told-
ever said?
Yeah. Yes. And so I was just like, oh. I was like, I do get that a lot. Okay.
Okay, so you might have heard it from other people, but when Taylor said it, you were like, "Oh my God, he thinks
It's
I'm
real.
cute."
Yeah, and he was like saying how much he thought she was attractive.
Mm.
So I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
all
see
right.
it, okay.
Okay. So were you expecting him to ask your number or ask you out?
no,
Okay.
no.
But pleasant surprise. Okay, where'd the first date happen?
I think it was the next week. You had off, right?
Mhm, I had off, yeah.
She took like a staycation week off.
Oh, okay. I mean, how long ago in time are we talking? Because
This
you guys
is
have been married
2013.
Yeah.
2013. Okay.
Yeah, so we just celebrated 10 years.
Wow,
Yeah, so yesterday.
congratulations, guys. Yesterday, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right, we were
Yeah.
talking on
Yeah,
the
yesterday
phone.
was our 10-year official.
Dating, yeah.
Wow.
We started dating in August, but we made it official in November, like
Okay.
exclusive.
And what does
Yeah.
that, I mean, as someone who's like been in love like once, like what does that mean? Like you're like, you sit down and have the DTF, like, or no,
Yeah,
DTR.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was.
My bad, that's in my world, the DTF. That's all I know. Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
DTR.
It was. I had never like had the conversation like that before, but it was like, so you want to be like official, exclusive, like my girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, so it was an actual conversation.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because you know, with Facebook and everything, you kind of got to deal with your status.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I didn't have Facebook, remember?
Yeah, she didn't.
Oh,
I had,
okay. Wait.
I had deleted my Facebook.
We're jumping. Sorry, it's my fault. We're on the tangent. So first date, you had the week off.
Yep.
So where'd you go? How was it? First
Went to
official
Los
date?
Cucos. Just
Okay.
had some
Solid.
happy hour margaritas. Yeah.
Solid.
Can't go wrong
Shout out
with
Los
Cucos.
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 Maybe a sponsor one day. Okay. Yeah, that would be great, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Los Cucos.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good, yeah.
Is it like
just-
a test, like picking like a place like Los Cucos to see if like people like spicy food or things like that? I don't know.
No, I mean, I didn't think too much about it. I just knew that it was a place we could get good margaritas, pretty affordable.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Food's always good there, so you can't
Yeah.
really go wrong.
Yeah, cannot go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do the
so
margaritas anymore, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
food solid, and I used to
Yeah.
love But okay, so it's a great date.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went well.
Yeah.
How often, like during this, what was the courtship like? Like after that, is it kind of a whirlwind romance, or like, were you I mean, you work with each other, so you're seeing each other a lot.
Yeah, we kind of had to keep it secret because our office was full of gossip. And,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, everyone knew each other in our office. A lot of people were like related, and
Oh,
it was,
how
you know,
big was the company?
It's like 80 people.
Oh, okay, so like
Yeah.
pretty small.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a medium.
Yeah.
Were there any rules against like coworkers dating?
No, I mean, I think most companies frown upon it, but
Mm.
we had had a couple before that met at the office and ended up getting married. So,
Okay.
I mean, they hadn't really, but.
You're the first couple that I'm interviewing that started as like an office romance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were together for like 4 or 5 months, right? Before anyone. Or was it
No, I think it was like a month or two.
a month or two? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a
hard to
month or
keep it.
two.
Hard to keep
Oh.
it hush hush in an environment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Especially like when you do work happy hours and stuff like that.
That's
And
right.
we would be
That's
together.
right. Yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah, I
so-
mean, you like try to purposely
Had to
like,
play it
sit
off,
away,
exactly.
and,
Yeah.
working
Like,
into
oh, hey,
it.
good to see
It's all cute and
you.
shit.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little, makes it a little fun at first. Yeah.
Was there any concern on either of you guys' end because you work together, about like, oh, if this doesn't go well, it's going to be awkward, all that kind of stuff?
Oh.
No?
I didn't even think about that.
That's amazing.
I did a little bit, but I was like, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah, because you're like, fuck, she's Puerto
Yeah.
Rican. Like,
I'm
first
like,
you start
we
showing
didn't really
your
talk
DNA.
before
I'm
this.
kidding, I'm kidding.
I'm like, we didn't really talk before we started talking, so it's not like it's gonna be a huge deal.
Yeah, okay.
If it doesn't work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long did you guys date, before it was kind of like, well, I mean, like you're saying, you guys had the DTR to find the relationship.
Got to get that acronym right.
Yeah. So you guys had that conversation. You said, how long into the dating?
It was two
Couple
and a half
months?
Yeah, because August, September, October.
It was like the middle of
November,
August when
yeah.
we started, and then it was
Oh,
the
like
beginning
right
of
before the
November.
holidays? Like, what are we doing here? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So, and then, you guys are official and dating. Like, what was the rest of that courtship like? How long did y'all date before
We
getting
got engaged.
It was
3 years.
just shy of 3
3
years.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was right at 3 years. Because it was on Thanksgiving, so it was right after our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, during that time, like, when did you guys meet each other's, like, sides of the family and parents and stuff like that?
That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met my family that Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you
well,
went-
no, actually, we had met. Sorry,
Yeah, I
we
had
had
met them. It was the Puerto Rican
We went to the
festival.
came to the Puerto Rican festival.
September, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he had met all
That
my
was the
family.
first time I met most of her family. Was the Puerto Rican festival.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
As the white boy.
So yeah, he was the
I was used
white
to
boy,
that.
and in the crowd they were actually like gringo because
Yeah.
he stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall.
There
you
and
go.
red. Yeah. Pale.
But yeah, it was.
It's like if I was there, they were like, Chino.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Like, See.
Yeah.
Introduce-
Exactly.
Yeah, family is very important to me. So the sooner they met him, that's what I wanted, just because they have a kind of not a big say, but just because I think my past relationship was horrible. Whenever he came around,
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted, I guess, my mom to kind of feel him out.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a big thing for me too. Like, if
Yeah.
I mean, obviously my parents do, but like, if my sister like didn't get along with whoever my spouse was going to be, like, that would be
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you weren't nervous bringing Taylor around. You were like, they're gonna love him. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, I wasn't
Yeah.
nervous at all.
Were you nervous?
No, I've always done pretty well with people's
Practice your
families.
Spanish. Yeah, you're pretty great. Yeah. So,
People's
um,
parents usually like me, so I was
Yeah.
I went in kind of confident.
My parents like you. Yeah. Okay, so what about when did Denise meet? Sheila.
That was
like
actually a funny story.
That was funny. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
We were meeting my mom for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
It was during a work day, but it was the same day her sister and brother-in-law were going out of town, so they called her.
Yeah, so they were leaving the kids with me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they were going out of town. So they called me to give me the whole, like, download, whatever, of, like, okay, here's where the life insurance is. This is what happens if anything
Oh.
happens to us. This is what you need to do. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So it was just, like, a lot. I was meeting his mom for the first time, and then
Yeah.
they're telling me all of this, and I'm like, oh my god, and if they die, like,
Yeah.
it was just, so I ended up, I was in a work meeting,
Yeah.
and I think my sister had been texting me. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yep.
I ended up having a full-blown panic attack during the meeting.
Okay.
So they took me out.
Yeah.
He had to cancel on his mom, or did we still do it? No.
No, we
can't-
did it like
had
another day,
Yeah,
yeah.
we canceled, and his mom was just like, well, I'm not that bad, or
Yeah.
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. She's thinking it's about her.
I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, don't be nervous.
Yeah.
My mom's easy.
Yeah.
But-
Sheila's great. Sheila, shout out Sheila. I love you. All
Yeah.
right, sorry.
Good woman.
Yeah, so it was like just a lot had happened, and it just all happened to be the day that I was going to meet Sheila. So then we changed the date or whatever to meet, and I think we met the following week. We went to lunch,
Okay.
and we met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was super chill.
Yeah. I mean, she was like the most chill
A
mom
little too chill sometimes.
Yeah,
ever.
she was
Yeah.
chill. So
Yeah. Okay, so like meeting parents, all that goes well. So
Yep.
now you know that's not something you have to worry about. You continue dating. When do you start to kind of think of proposing? Like, I mean, I guess this is like what the namesake of the show is, right? When did you know, like,
Yeah.
individually, like, Denise, when did you maybe start going, okay, this has been serious, and that kind of stuff, to like, oh, like, if he asked me to marry him, I might say yes, or, kind of, and while she's answering, you can think of like when you started to think of proposing.
yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I was very honest with him from the beginning. I actually did not want to get married or did not want to have children.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Wait, from the beginning of like dating?
Yeah, I told him, I think I told you probably after a couple of months we were in that I was like, hey, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids.
And that didn't bother you at all, or?
I mean, I had, from the story she told me of some of her previous relationships, I was like, I understand why she thinks like that. So
Okay.
we'll see how things go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still very early on.
Yeah,
too.
I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
she's really hot, so at the very least,
Yeah.
we'll have some
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
for a
I
while.
just wa-
Selena.
Yeah, I just wanted to be
Shout out
honest.
Selena. Are you dating anyone? I don't know. Or is it Selena Gomez?
Oh, Selena. Yeah, I just wanted to be, honest with him from the kind of the beginning,
Yeah,
even
that's
though
great,
it was
yeah.
really beginning, but kind of just letting him know like I'm good with us having like a long-term relationship, but marriage and having kids is just that's not what I want.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't
and
know
then-
that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then it was like I think there was like a couple of just situations that happened. We had been dating for like maybe a year and a half, and just different things that he showed me and just proved to me the kind of person he was.
Yeah.
And he was someone like that I could see myself spending, my future with him. That's whenever I was kind of like, it probably was like a year and a half where I was like, oh, like, I think I can marry this guy. And I think I even told him, I was like, I know I said I didn't want to get married, but I think I kind of can. Like, I think
I don't remember.
yeah, I remember because we were in my bathroom.
That would be a
remember.
big time thing. Of course you were. Yeah.
Yeah, of course she
He
remembers.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
you told him like casually in the bathroom? You're
Yeah,
just
we were
like,
in the bathroom.
Hey,
and
just
I
in
was
case,
like,
you know.
Because I was like,
you know.
maybe I need to tell him because what if he's like, oh, I'm not going to propose or whatever. Because like I had been, very, very straight with my answer about no marriage, no kids.
Did it ever
you
come
know.
up after you had initially talked about it? Like,
No.
okay,
no,
so
I had
Not
never.
really.
No.
that sounds like a very. I mean, like I'm not being judgy. That sounds like a very like in the moment thing. Like it wasn't like rehearsed. If it was like
No,
kind of in the
yeah.
bathroom, like you were thinking about it, you were like, oh, I need to let this man know. Like it's on the table.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it was like a specific. I don't remember what it was, but it was something that happened that he did that I was just like, it just like snapped, and I was like, I can marry him. Like
So,
I can.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about like on that day, like before the conversation in the bathroom, or you?
No, I think it. Well, yeah, I think it was probably that week
Okay.
that I had the conversation with him is when it had happened.
And you don't remember what that?
I don't remember what it was.
All right. What about some of the things that he showed you that you started to open up to that? Because that's a very
Just-
beautiful thing. Like,
I had been in a very toxic relationship
Okay.
prior to Taylor. So he was very patient because I was very broken in the beginning of our relationship. And I was always, like I said, he was very honest with me, and I was always honest with him about how I felt about different things just because of the toxicity of the past relationship.
sure.
And he was just always so patient with everything, with my trust issues, trying to break through that. He was always very honest. So
Did that just come naturally to you, or like were you? What's
Yeah.
the?
I mean, I knew where she had come from. And,
Okay.
I just, I don't know.
And I mean, like, seriously, thank you for sharing that too, because I know this is about like y'all's relationship, but I mean, like, part of the reason I'm doing this is like for the people that are jaded and still single
Yeah.
and have been through, some terrible relationships and have issues. So I mean, if
I-
it
I
gives
think-
anybody hope that there's
Yeah.
people
Well,
that they can trust. Yeah.
I think part of it was like I hadn't really been in a whole lot of like long, serious relationships. Like my longest relationship to that point was 4 months long.
Okay. Yeah.
And I liked her. Thought she was really attractive. She's just my type.
Uh-huh.
And we were getting along really well. So I just kind of like, you know what? Let me push through, do the best I can to help her get over this, and then see what it's like when she finally gets over this, and then we can go from there, kind of thing.
So were you just really good about, like, even though you were feeling that kind of way and whatever, just like being like open and communicating that clearly
Yeah.
to him?
yeah.
Because a lot of people, will be like self-destructive.
Yeah, no,
and,
she
like,
wouldn't
hold
really
that in and, like,
internalize
start-
it. Yeah, she was good about like, oh, I'm sorry, I just don't feel right about this, or this has got me all messed up, and
Yeah. And I think that's what was one of the things, is that he made me feel comfortable with how sometimes, I guess you can say, crazy, how like my mind would work. He was just very like, make me at ease.
Okay.
And he was very easy to talk to, not judgmental.
Yeah.
With everything that I had been through.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the type of person to also be like, damn, you're fucked up, or
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah,
like, oh, I don't want to deal with that
He
shit.
tells me that shit all the time, but no. Okay, no, but no, I totally get it. That's so beautiful. That's such a important thing, and I think like a lot of times, I mean, like really kudos to both of you, because a lot of times when people get hurt like that or whatever, they go through stuff like it's really hard not to just like not
push people
sabotage,
away,
push people away
exactly.
when you're being loved correctly,
Yeah.
Or the way that you're supposed to be loved. But then also like to communicate that, because like I'm not trying to make it about me, but like that was one of my biggest things. Is like I just saw like I like recently discovered Instagram Reels, and everyone knows because I'm like sending like this, I just like found something where someone's like voicing like the inner monologue of someone who it's just like has trust issues and abandonment issues, and kind of just like being vulnerable and saying like, hey, I'm not sure about, this is how I'm feeling, like I thought I really like, and so like that's something that I've personally struggled with. I think that's really gonna help a lot of people, yeah, so thanks for sharing that. So
yeah, well, I mean, my family's crazy, so
seeing
a lot of crazy,
well,
and just friends relationships I've seen with just the insanity, and I'm like, he could have handled that a lot better, she could have handled that a lot better, and it just kind of took mental notes from seeing all of the craziness that friends and family have gone through the years, rather than going, oh, I could do that, I go, no, I should do that better when that comes up, kind of thing.
You're so observant and wise, Tay.
I like to think I'm an observant person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's so amazing. Taylor, what was, like the moment for you, or kind of like when you were starting to think I could, spend the rest of my life with Denise?
So I think, because I've always had a mentality where like if you're gonna marry someone, I feel like you need to live with that person first for at least, I'd say at least 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
because you really don't know someone until you live with them. You can date and stay at each other's houses, but you still have somewhere else to run away.
Yeah.
When you don't have somewhere else to go and you're stuck with that person, you really get to know who they are and see how their lifestyle is.
Yeah.
So we lived together for a while, and it was great. We didn't really have any issues with the way we lived very similar style lives and habits and stuff like that. Well, we got a dog, we had a puppy, and it's funny, it's gross, but one of the big moments was when we first got him. I think it was actually Khaleesi or was it Kimbo?
No, it was Kimbo.
It was Kimbo. When we first got him, of course, most puppies, they have worms.
Yeah.
So he was outside pooping, and one of the worms came out, but didn't come all the way out.
Oh, okay.
So she went and got a paper towel and got it and pulled it out of his butt. And I was like, I know that it's probably the most disgusting thing she's ever done in her life. But she did it without hesitation for her dog.
Yeah.
I was like, so that really meant a lot to me, because it was like in the moment when she needed to do what was best for the one she loved, she just did it.
Wow. I mean, it makes complete sense.
Yeah,
it really does.
Okay.
It's such a.
That's another thing I think people. I mean, we say that for the advice.
No, yeah, okay. I mean, whatever you want to elaborate, we can definitely reiterate it later.
I mean, if couples plan on having kids, you should probably raise a puppy first.
Yeah, that's actually.
It's really honestly the closest thing to having a baby, because it's gross, it's annoying.
It's gonna challenge you.
Yeah, it's challenging. You have to be constantly on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a good dog, it's a lot of responsibility in the first 4 to 6 months.
Yeah. So wait, when you got the puppies, like, was that the thought behind it? Was trial run something, or did you just want a dog?
No, I think it just her nephew dog had puppies. And we were just like, we can do a puppy.
Okay. But it ended up being this kind of
it ended up kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that like that story and that moment, like that
Yeah.
that is really like it kind of really goes to show it's not about like, you know, um just like the stuff like you would post on Instagram or
Yeah.
like, the most like the most like beautiful stories or whatever. I mean, that is a beautiful story. Like it really
In its
is.
own right, yeah, in
Yeah,
its own
but I mean
way.
it's very like lifey and like,
Us.
down down to earth. But I mean, like honestly, you knew kind of in that moment that like if shit were gonna go down or like
Yeah.
if shit needed to be taken care of, and I should not be cursing, but I'll bleep it out. But that she would be there, that she
Yeah.
would put the needs of
Yeah.
others and people that she loves ahead of herself or her fears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's
wasn't
like a
like
big-
the moment where I was like, oh, I'm gonna marry this girl, but it was a big moment where it was like, okay, yeah, she's top notch.
Yeah.
I
No,
got a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And you probably in that moment, you're not thinking all that. You're just
No.
doing what needs to be done in front
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
When I actually decided to propose, it was just shy of 3 years in. I was like, I don't know, it just came. I had been thinking and thinking like, if I'm gonna propose, when should I?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, do I want to? And then I just started thinking about before and then what I would feel like if I lost her, and
What
just
were-
everything we had been through, and just trying to think back, like, have I met any other girls that are like her? And it's like that I hadn't,
What brought up those thoughts of like? If
It was
you were
just
to
kind
lose
of, we've
her,
been together
like-
for 3 years, and I
Uh-huh.
feel like you get to a certain point, it's like, all right, are you gonna do something about it, or
Yeah.
or get off the pot kind
Yeah,
of thing?
yeah.
And I was like, 3 years, it's been long enough. I need to make the move. If I'm gonna make the move, I think now is a
Okay.
good time. And it was weird because I started thinking about it, and then her friend messaged me on Facebook and was like, hey, I have a friend. She just started her own private jewelry company.
Oh.
So if you wanted to get anything for Denise for her anniversary, maybe she could help you out. And I was like, well, yeah, let me get her information.
Uh-huh.
And met with her and talked to her about some rings and stuff like that.
I'm sure she was freaking thrilled.
Yeah, and then kind of,
That's a God thing. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
and yeah, just kind of went from there. Met her, looked at some stones and some settings, and I've always had kind of a sly way of getting an idea of what people want for a gift.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of spam random stuff. Oh, look what I found! Look how crazy this ring is, or this and that, and got an idea of what she wanted.
Oh, that's actually a really good method besides like just going to a friend and like putting
Yeah.
all the eggs in one basket and being like,
I just saw this online. I thought
Yeah.
you would think it was nice.
Yeah.
I'm too broke for that kind of
Yeah.
joking
Uh-huh.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
he said he sent me he said, "Oh, look what Facebook popped up on my feed or whatever." Is what he said to me, and he sent it to me.
so what were you thinking? And
I just was just like, "Oh," well, I was like, "That's a nice ring."
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it said on the picture that it was an engagement ring.
Oh, okay.
I think it said
Yeah.
on there, and it had just like so it has this diamond, and then it had like a little diamond here.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, it'd be cool if they would put the person's birthstone on there.
Oh.
So that's what he did.
Wait, really?
Yeah, his birthstone is right here.
Yeah, so then when I met with her, I was like, oh, she's looking for a setting kind of like this. And she's like, oh, I have this. And I was like, that's perfect.
That
I was
is
like, can you
beautiful.
put, what is mine? An emerald? in
That's
there? And
your
she's like,
birthstone.
Yeah.
yeah.
in
That
the,
way, if
like,
it was like an unintentional, like a spite thing as well. 'Cause like, I joke that like,
What?
if we ever get divorced, you'll always remember me.
yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Wow.
But yeah, that's just a joke. We're not getting divorced.
Yeah. You mentioned like 3 years, kind of like, what do I do? Should I get
Yeah.
off the pot? That whole thing. Were you guys getting pressure from either side of the family? Just
No,
because
not
I'm
really.
No, not
I mean,
really.
my mom always,
Yeah.
brings it up, that kind of thing. When are y'all gonna have kids? And that's just her.
Yeah.
Korean in her is coming
Yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, she wasn't even worried
Her-
about the marriage. She was more like, when are you
Yeah,
going
you
to
don't
give me
have to get married. You can
grandbabies?
have kids.
Yeah.
Is that what she was saying?
Yes.
Stuff like that.
That's
She would
what
say that. Yeah,
saying.
she's nuts like that.
Yeah.
Now it's so funny, right? My parents are such traditional, like Korean parents. Like originally, we grew up Catholic, so they're like, oh, marry a Korean Catholic girl and then have kids and start a family. Now that I'm like 37 and Stina and Chris already have, they're married and they have 2 kids, they're like, just give us grandkids.
We want more.
They're like, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care where they come from.
Just give me grandkids.
Yeah.
However, I'd be like, I could go do that tonight.
Yeah, we'd
Can't
prefer
wait.
not to hate their mom, but we can deal with
Yeah,
it.
they don't even give me like give me grandkids and then marry that woman. It's like
Yeah.
they're like, come on,
We just want more
please.
grandkids. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's beautiful too. No pressure from the parents. I mean,
No,
obviously,
yeah.
3 years in, they're pretty supportive of you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they thought it was gonna happen. Kind of
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
we had been planning a trip to Puerto Rico for Thanksgiving with her family, and I was like, oh, well, if I get the ring now, I just have to hide it for a few months, I can propose in Puerto Rico.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah.
Is that always weird for a guy, like for you, like waiting, like knowing that you're gonna do it, but then
Yeah.
like waiting for the right moment?
Both of us have a problem with waiting to
Oh.
give each other gifts.
Oh, okay.
We get like so excited to give it to. Like I bought her anniversary gift in Denver, and I think I gave up on Wednesday.
Yeah, you came back on
I came back on
Monday, and he
Oh,
gave it to me
Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. I couldn't
You're
even make it a
like-
whole day.
He's like, I got you a gift for our anniversary. He was, no, you didn't even tell me you got me a gift, right? No, he did it. He told me on Tuesday. He's like, I got you something for our anniversary. He's like, I can't hold it anymore.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But I did the same thing.
Yeah.
We were in a place, and I was like, oh, look how nice these are. And she's like, oh, I like the ring. She's like, oh, they're expensive. I was like, I know, right? I was just, I was like, oh, no, just because it's your birthstone. I thought you'd like them.
Yeah.
And it was.
And so when he does that, you're not like, oh, he's gonna give me that. Like,
Sometimes, but half the time when like we're messaging, it's
We do that a lot.
oh, okay.
We do
Yeah.
send each other stuff that we like that we
Yeah.
know we can't
Out of the
afford all the
blue,
time.
Just do it all the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm taking
So,
notes.
yeah,
it's like
personal
No, yeah,
notes
yeah.
for-
Just constantly send stuff that we
Yeah.
both like that we know we can't afford.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when it comes time, you can slide in the actual
Yeah.
gift, see how she likes it, and then you're like, she thinks it's just
That
something I'm
was-
sending her.
So him about keeping notes and stuff like that. That was another thing that I was like, oh my god. He actually has a notes section in his phone that has like when we first kissed, when we first said I love you, when we first like all of that. So I go back to him and I'm like, hey, when did this happen?
Yeah, I've got the
because
date
he
saved.
actually kept that.
Huh.
And
I was like, I'm gonna forget all this, so I need to write this down.
yeah, and that
Okay.
was another thing that I was like, wow, like I have never met someone that actually would care enough to write that down to actually want to remember it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A
Or
romantic.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure people do remember it like off the top of their heads and stuff like that, but I don't. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
that was another plus. I was like, oh, I like that. You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
and you said a lot of your relationships were just kind of shorter, So like, is that something that you
No, those were just I don't know.
always? Yeah.
Those were just not the right person kind of situation. Just
Yeah.
met,
I mean, but you
clicked.
wanted to. You wanted to. But,
Yeah, I mean, I never went into relationships just for like hookups.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was gonna date someone, it had to be someone that actually like wanted to date.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay. First of all, that gift thing is a pro tip. So like, do that. Like I'm gonna do that. But I love that you mentioned the notes thing because I did not ask about the first kiss
Oh yeah.
or the first I love you.
Oh.
So we're gonna go back a little.
Oh, the first I love you's a funny one too.
Okay, see this is okay. So tell me about the first kiss. I'm sure you guys remember, even if you don't know what date it was.
It was our
specifically.
friend's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we rode together to the party.
It's Angela's birthday. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm And then we don't shout out.
Yeah. Don't shout out to her.
Okay.
She's a B word.
I wasn't going to.
It was her birthday. We drove together, but I had left my car at his apartment, so we went back, and
Just leaving things.
I
What
was
do you know?
going.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to leave, and he was. I don't even know. Like I think he just kissed
went
me.
for it,
Yeah,
yeah.
he just went for it.
How long?
I think that was our fourth date.
This was November.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Her birthday's in
No.
November.
Oh, I love this.
We
I
had
love
kiss
this.
before November.
Fight. I love
Notes.
it. Here it comes.
I got
Oh,
the
there she is.
notes.
Okay.
I got the notes. See, it's another thing. You keep the notes because
Yeah.
you gotta prove you're right.
There you
sometimes.
go. And see what I love about that interaction right there is like you're like my sister. Like she's so sure. You know, she's like, no, November.
is that?
Cool. I hope it's not November.
Denise, stuff I should remember is the name of the notes. First kiss 8:24. So we were like,
Oh God.
that was our second or
was
third
fast.
date.
Yeah. Wow.
I think it was our third date.
Was
it was
it?
after Indian food.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was another one. That was a good one for me.
Oh, that one was yes. So he told me to pick. He did the first date
The second date too.
and the second date too. No, that was like the fourth date then for our first kiss.
Oh,
Because then on the third date he told me, hey, pick the place or whatever. So I was just like, all right. So I did a test. I said, I love Indian food.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna take him to Indian food. I was like, if he loves Indian food, I was like, I'm gonna be with this man.
Okay. Yeah.
I had never tried it.
He had never tried it. So yeah, because I'd asked
You
him, I
never
was like,
tried it.
I hadn't.
yeah. So we went and ate Indian food, and he loved it, and I was like, oh my God, bonus points, bonus points,
Wait,
bonus
I mean, did you
points.
order for him because he didn't try
Yeah.
anything? And you
Yeah.
ordered like, I mean, spicy food, like spice level, because you know they do that whole like tiers.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I think we didn't do like a spicy
Yeah, the
because he
crazy
told me
stuff.
like he was like,
I mean,
"Nah,
I do
nah."
spicy.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
crazy
you do.
spicy.
Though, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm asking.
Yeah, but yeah, so he loved it, and that was like another check mark
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
because I was like, oh, okay, we could eat Indian food together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Food is a very big thing in our
Yeah.
relationship.
Oh, yeah.
So,
We have a lot of the same food taste, which is
Yeah.
big.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So so then we first kiss, and then
After Indian food, she knew. She was like, "Bring it on, come on,
Uh.
I want it."
but and then what? First, I love you.
Who said "I love you" first?
I did.
He did.
Oh.
And it was an awkward conversation too.
Okay.
Because I was like, so I've never like told this to anyone before. I was like, and I'm pretty positive. I've thought about it.
How long into this?
Uh,
Oh, here we go.
bam,
Sorry.
right back to the
Sorry.
notes. Yeah,
I think
'cause
it was
it's been so
December-
long.
I think it was December.
Okay, you were like 3 months off the time before, so let's see.
It
how
was
much-
January.
Okay, 1 month. Okay.
January.
All right, starting
I
the
said
new
I love
year.
you, and then she said.
Oh, okay, January.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
it was
you-
like a legit
awkward.
sitting in bed
Uh-huh.
like conversation. I just like brought it up. I was like, I'm pretty positive I'm in love with you.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
That was a
It
response?
wasn't that crass, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but I was kind of just like, oh, I don't know. Again, it just went back to
Yeah.
my relationship prior
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I was just like, no, like you can't really love someone this fast
Okay.
just because of what I had
Something
been
was
through.
like 4 months in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was just like, you know,
Yeah, and I was like, I've never, had this, feeling before, so I'm pretty sure, but
yeah.
I understand if you weren't.
Yeah, and you truly meant that. Like you
Yeah.
weren't expecting because you knew.
Yeah,
you talked about
exactly.
stuff,
Everything
and
we
so-
had been through and all that.
And so,
so.
like what was going through you? Like, I mean, what did you tell him? Because he's being vulnerable and saying
I don't remember.
I think it was.
you freaked out.
I
you
kind
repressed
of,
it?
yeah, like I said, I kind of told him like, I don't think so. Like I was telling him what
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Your mother was wrong.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Of course, I think I said thank you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, because I was just like,
Better than
I
you're
don't know.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it awkward then?
No.
You were still. You knew
I was
how you
nervous.
felt.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even after it wasn't awkward. Again, I think it's just because of the type of person he is.
Yeah, I didn't go in with like expectations of her going, oh my God, I love you too. It was just, if she does, she does.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we'll keep going.
See, I mean, because like I've been in that situation before where like I'm gonna say it, but then if she doesn't say it, like I'm pissed. But that's not the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody's feelings develop, I guess, at different times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a child. My goodness.
So-
No. Okay, so how much longer before you come around and you tell
It
him?
was 20 days.
Wow.
It was, well, I just looked at the
Yeah,
date.
I know you did, but I'm sure you remember that too. You're
It was like 3 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And,
did you like tell her you loved her in between that time?
Yeah,
Or-
but not too much.
Yeah,
I didn't
'cause
just.
you're not trying to
It was
lie.
usually like only when we were together and we were saying goodbye, and I tried not to say it like all the time.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm so in love.
Even though you felt
It was like, yeah, it was like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I love this woman, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna be like all crazy about it.
Okay, so he drops it on you. You wait 3 weeks. Wait, so what kind of?
She didn't even mean to.
Oh.
It just slipped.
Yeah.
It did?
Was it a phone call?
No, we were saying goodbye.
Oh, okay.
So you
Yeah.
don't even remember.
We got back
Oh,
to
that-
my house and I was kissing her goodbye at her
Uh-huh.
car. I said, all right, bye, I love you. She said, I love you too. And I was like, you said it. Did you mean it?
Were you like?
You're like, I did say
You surprised yourself? Would it be?
Yeah, I think I surprised myself. I did love him
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
time. I think it was more like I didn't know if I was ready to say that again just
Because
because
that
it
is
goes
a
to
whole
my
nother.
yeah,
Yeah.
just because of the past. So when he said it and I said it, I was like, oh wow, I just spoke it out there. Like I
Uh-huh.
just said it out loud. And then it was,
Yep.
and now we're here.
Yeah. At least
But-
the damn after
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Wait. So I mean, like, was it on your mind those 3 weeks?
It was.
Yeah?
It was, yes. Because
Were
I
you,
was like,
stressing about it or?
not stressing, but I think I was trying to figure out, like, is it too early?
Mhm.
Is it not too early? And I think I ended up having a conversation with one of my friends. And I think she made me realize, like, I guess, like, it didn't matter. Because again, this all goes back to just my past relationships.
Yeah.
So again, I can't remember. I have
It's
really
okay.
bad memory.
But you talked to a friend.
But I talked to a friend, yeah, and she was just kind of like saying, "Do you feel this for him? Do you feel this for him? Do you for the?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I think you're there."
what does that mean? Do you feel this?
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. Like, I have bad.
Let's call the
memory.
friend. I can bring. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend.
Yeah, I don't remember what like a lot of them. I think it was just like,
It's 10 years ago. So.
yeah, it's 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of imagine.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. So then I was just like, oh, I was like, yeah. I don't know. It was like a light bulb moment where
Okay.
it's like, ding. I was like, oh, yeah.
I think she was just trying to hold out as long as possible, and it just
I think
slipped.
that's, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think that was the case
I mean,
too.
that's like going back to what Denise was saying, like patience. Then
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you try to force something, then it usually doesn't work out the way you want it to.
it doesn't. Oh my gosh! What? No, I mean, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of blown away by the both of you.
Nice.
Because there's a lot of, in the story, like there's a lot of points where like, because of past things or like because of different responses at different times, like it could have maybe not worked out. Or I'm thinking if I was in a
Well,
situation,
Yeah.
I might have.
we
been
did
out.
have, right before we became official, we split up.
Oh.
Yeah. She had gone to Chicago for a vacation
Uh huh.
and came back infatuated with Chicago.
Okay.
Wanted to move there.
Oh.
And I had been in 2 dating scenarios before where the girls moved either to a different city or back to where they were coming from. And I was like, I'm not going to go through that again. If you want to move, let's just cut this off now before it gets too deep.
Uh-huh. And then the
But I did
decision-
full cut off.
You
Because
did?
we worked together, so I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going blacked out.
Really?
We didn't talk for 2 weeks.
Okay. And then
straight.
what happened?
Like, even at work, just like,
Yeah, we didn't.
And
like-
this during that 2 weeks, you're still like Chicago is the thing, like.
Yeah. I was like set on moving. I had to read, because I think at that time my job was thinking about opening an office in Chicago.
Oh, okay,
So they even
okay.
told me like, hey, talk to this person.
So when just like some pipe dream is like actual like avenue to make
Yeah.
that happen into a reality.
Yeah.
How long
and-
had y'all been dating?
it was like
That was
2.5 months.
Months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2.5
About 3,
months.
yeah, 3,
After
2.5, 3
solid
months.
dating, you taking him to the Indian food. You know,
Yeah.
like it's kind of more serious, and so Taylor
Yeah,
goes
just
dark.
Straight cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened? How did?
I think
That
the
was strategic too, though.
the move to Chicago. So I'm very close with my family. So then I think I just started like thinking like I would just be moving out there by myself. I
Yeah.
was me and my girlfriend from New Jersey. She was actually we were both would move together.
Okay.
So she was. It would just be me and her, and I think I have like 2 other friends over there. But like I said, I'm very close to my family, so I just started overthinking everything, and I was just like, I don't think I want to do this. Like, I love being around my family. I was like, I met this guy, so I think it was. You said it was 2 weeks.
It was like right at 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think I had decided that I wasn't gonna move. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not making this change in my life. And it was what I am very like. Change is not something I like either. So I think that was another thing that I was like, okay, this is like a big drastic change. So then I decided not to move or whatever. I think that same week that I decided not to, I hit him up with the long text message.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little apologetic in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think he.
Yeah, we decided to meet up and have a formal chit chat
Yeah,
and see
yeah.
where we felt we were gonna be and go and that kind of stuff.
So again, in that situation, like from your perspective, like because you had been through that before, I mean, Chicago must have made a pretty good impression on you.
I've always loved Chicago.
Okay.
And it was just a chance because my friend was moving.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
it was like
I was just like,
very
oh,
exciting idea.
okay.
Yeah. Jobs in place,
Yeah.
potentially. So you are not harboring any resentment at this point, like when she wants to send you the text, right?
I had a little bit because one of the guys that she had worked with that she was somewhat close with, he was very gossipy though.
Okay.
He had brought up that she went up there to visit one of her friends that happened to be a guy. So of course,
okay. Yep.
the rumor mill.
Yeah. And it just kind of just
Yeah,
the way
and then it
that
just
your
yeah. So I
mind
was
works there.
yeah. So I was like, this makes it easy to ghost her.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little awkward for 2 weeks though.
Yeah.
But I kept seeing
can
her. I
imagine.
was like, she's wearing those pants on purpose. I know it.
Wait, so this wasn't that far before the I Love Yous, right?
I Love You was about 3 months after that.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 months after. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like we had the talk and we got back together, and I think it was like maybe a week later we made it official.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So that goes to show that sometimes like breaks can happen.
Yeah.
And that you could still
Yep.
get together and have it be part of the story and have it work out. That's
Yep.
beautiful.
It's not always the end.
There's so many like
Sometimes you have to be away from a person to realize how much you enjoy being with that person.
absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly.
That's really beautiful. I mean, you guys' story is really pretty great.
I like to think so.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much. It's kind of like a movie. I don't know. Except for the,
It's a little
pulling
boring,
the worm out of
but
his
yeah.
eye. But, but okay, so like, I'm not even. I mean, I know y'all got things to go to as well, but do you want to talk about the wedding at all or anything? Any funny stories from that, or should we just go to like parting? Words of wisdom, words of advice for the single listener, the listener that is in a relationship trying to figure out if they found the one, or like people
Yeah, we can get
already
into
married, that need marriage advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to?
You can go first.
Yeah, I feel like you
I
had some
don't-
stuff that you wanted to.
I mean, everyone knows relationships are hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is this a lot?
Yeah.
Like for like the wedding, we got to plan it over like a year and a half. It wasn't like, oh, we're gonna get married in 6 months. We got to get this date and this venue. So that was really nice. I recommend that if you can plan it over a long period of time and pay it off over time. It's much less stressful.
Yeah.
You get a lot more time to actually shop around and find what you want and realize what you want.
Yeah.
It goes with most things though.
Yeah.
But we were talking what was it? We were talking
Have
in
a
the
dog.
car. Yeah, definitely have a dog.
Yeah. Right.
If you can raise a dog together and not want to kill each other and
Yeah.
the dog's okay, then
That's okay.
you're probably gonna be okay. It's a good start.
I love how you talked about stuff in the car on the way over here. Yeah, what y'all talk
We were
about?
going over the questions, like, okay, let's make sure we.
You were supposed to make a mental
Yeah, I
note.
know, and I know it's a say. I'm just. Oh yeah. So we're talking about like finding the one, or when you know you have the one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, for me, perspective is a big thing. Everybody's perspective is different. Everybody's preferences are different. So like, what the one would be to me is not the same definition of the one to you,
Yeah.
or to your sister, or to your parents, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
So
Neo
we
is the
like.
one. Sorry.
Like the things we have in common are like food is a big one. We love a lot of the same food, have a lot of the same tastes. We tend to have a lot of the same cravings at the same times. Traveling has always been just super easy and fun. And that's big for both of us. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of like, it's not like, oh, we both love to play video games all the time. It's like, we love a lot of the same things that are important to us, but we don't love all of the same things.
Yeah, I mean, so would it be fair to say like it doesn't have to be the surface level day-to-day interest that you share in common, but
Yeah.
you do have to.
I think it's actually, we both feel it's very important to have your own identity in a relationship. I mean, some people want to share everything, and that's their preference. That's fine.
Yeah.
Us, we like our individuality. We kind of like our alone time.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have like our own hobbies outside of each other that we can actually like spend time on, or like our own group of friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't have any problem. Go to your girls' night, go to your guys' trip, that kind of thing. That really helps a lot, because you get to step out, and it's just not always relationship. You actually get you time.
Yeah, recharge your batteries. A little
Exactly.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've learned, especially in recovery, like codependency. You know, that whole like you complete me and have to do everything together is like not healthy.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people can live in that and survive. And that's, more power to them, I guess. But yeah, our individuality is very important.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we both agreed on the wording. So was it you want to find somebody that you want to be a better person for and do more for, but that person doesn't want to change who you are.
Okay.
So they love you as you are, but you still, like, they bring out the best in you.
Yeah.
Like, you want to do things for them. You want to be better. You want to, maybe change yourself in certain ways, but it's not them making you. They like you how you are.
Yeah.
And she's never made me be who I don't want to be. So, and vice versa.
Yeah. And
yeah.
for me, I think, and of course, this is what everyone would say, is communication.
I think that's
Huge.
huge.
That's
It's huge. We
You
probably
find,
over-communicate.
Find the person that just makes you feel so comfortable that you can literally say what you're thinking, and they won't judge you.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he'll judge me a little bit.
Yeah.
But never, to like condescending or and that kind of that kind of set. But just very open. I can straight up tell him something that I do not like that he's doing, or just anything.
Uncomfortable things.
Just just someone that's gonna make you feel comfortable and not have to hold things inside. Because I think that's when you know, start.
Yeah. Resentments
Right,
grow.
yeah.
dishonesty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's. So,
And then-
go ahead.
Now, sometimes we may, probably over communicate, but I think it's actually for the better. Like, oh, I'm leaving now, instead of just leaving someone's house and getting, on the way home. Or, we're doing this now. Like, out with friends. Hey, now we're doing this. It's not just, oh, I got to my friend's house, and then you don't hear from me for 3 hours until I'm done with my friend's house.
Yeah.
There's just, little updates here and there, chit-chatting in between, just staying in. We stay in constant communication, but not to the point where it's like overwhelming or.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice balance because you guys are big on like letting each other have time with friends and things like that. It's still kind of like being respectful. Kind of like keeping your partner in the loop.
Because we're married. When it comes down to it, we're not single. We're married. We have a family. So knowing that we're where we are at and stuff like that, and being safe when we're out. And stuff,
Yeah.
But But yeah, my thing would be definitely communication and just being comfortable enough to just speak your mind and being able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you guys so much. I mean, I can't tell you like how much I've learned personally, from this interview, and like, it's kind of, I mean, my heart is full, like just like hearing about like how much you guys have grown from, the girl who never wanted to get married or have kids, and crazy Tay Tay that I remember running around growing up with. Like, who knew you would ever be such a,
Right.
deep, beautiful, romantic man. Yeah, just thank you guys again so much. And this
Yeah.
has truly been like one of my favorite episodes to record up to this point. And
Awesome.
I'm honored to have you guys as friends in my life. And
We're honored you wanted us on our show.
yeah, I love you guys for real.
Yeah, I love you too.
Well, ladies and gents, I don't know if it gets much better than that, but yeah, I'm just we're gonna go ahead and end it there. And thank you so much for tuning in, and look out for another episode next week. Bye, guys. Korean Hearts.
When